Task everybody. Welcome to the Ōtorohanga District Council meeting on the 23rd of April. This meeting today we're conducting from the Ōtorohanga, which is your privilege for us as council. We've got one on here this morning, who was here now for guests. Please, also like to welcome we had a couple of apologies this morning. One was from Councillor Christensen and the other is an apology. Nobody wishes to speak in public forum today. G buttons. Just like to also welcome Mark as CE, so I'll score with you. Whether he sees this. We have special minutes of two council meetings dated 26th of March and the 4th of April. We take those to approve. Is that moving, councillor, or is there points to raise? No, thank you. Thank you. So moved by Councillor Jeffrey, second by Councillor Johnson. All in favour? Aye. Thank you. The receipt of the minutes of the Carpet Community Board and Community Board. Second close, please. Councillor Jeffries, all in favour? Aye. Thank you. Just a brief overview of what I'll be going to for the last month following our school council meeting. The day after the council meeting, Tanya myself spoke the business breakfast. The long-term plan and we read about the consequences. Well attended this meeting. We attended after Easter, commemoration of 2nd April. So really quite emotional day. I've certainly never been confronted by such Ōtorohanga as we went down to the commemoration. So I'm not sure how many hundred of you were there, and you really felt the power and the emotion of the day. Don't think we'll ever forget this. The next ordinary council meeting on the 4th, went to the New Zealand Shares Champions and Tea Committee on the 5th this month. Chiefs Day hosted by Hamilton City on Saturday night. Went to Women's Workshop on the 9th. Travelled to Wellington on the 10th to catch up with TJ staff down there. Then attended a combined sector meeting and World Provincial on the 12th. On the 13th this month, the long-term plan opened at Village Green. I had a Newcastle Jobs Governance Group 15th via Zoom. Airport meeting shareholder Zoom on the 16th. We had a catch up with Kiwi House on the 17th to ensure everybody's tracking according to on this there. Long-term plan opened at and then I spoke at BD Home yesterday. Obviously, there's just a record between that which we up to. So, is there any questions? Attended? If not, I'd like to move to my report. Received second council data. All in favour? Carried. Thank you. Right, moving on to item 124, Ōtorohanga multi-purpose community feasibilities.
Thank you, Your Worship. Good morning. Good morning, councillors. We're at a important but very exciting milestone point with this project. Before I get started, Your Worship, I just want to acknowledge the partners in this project. So we have Ōtorohanga Support House for Athena, and Robert's here representing Support House this morning. and the Ōtorohanga Club and Jock Gollan is here. They're not expecting to have any role, but if there are key questions that you have for them, I'm sure they might be in a position to answer them. I just want to acknowledge Sandra Cave. So Sandra is our community projects lead, and we wouldn't be at this point with this project without Sandra's great input. So thank you. And of course, Veros, who have undertaken the feasibility study and the report that's in your agenda this morning. And with a bit of luck and technical wizardry, Adele and Chase from Veros should be So, Your Worship, you have before you quite a comprehensive bundle of information. I don't intend to go through that in any great detail, but Adele and Chase will be able to answer any specific questions that members may have around the detail that's contained in the report. But what I do want to do is members through the process at a high level, and then open the floor up to questions. So, of course, today house and the 4 properties that make up that cluster on Mahiapoto and a civic space. So again, centering on Ōtorohanga Club as a partner to the project, with the idea that there would be a fallback option around building a new space for events. And then the third option, so option 1, status quo, second option, network community hub with those 3 elements, and then the third option, new. So that would be a single facility, either on the Sport House, Edmonds Judd site, or a new build on the new site. So when we looked at, or when Veros led the co-design process, they utilised a test activity fit assessment. So that was looking at how each of those options aligned with the project benefit statements. And they're very clearly set out in the feasibility report to how it aligned with those benefit statements and the critical success factors, which are outlined as well. And through that process, option 2, which is the Network Community Hub, with the Ōtorohanga Club engaged for events, ranked the highest, and there was daylight between that and the other options. But following on from that, a series of concept designs were developed to meet the provision and spatial needs identified through the co-design process. And again, these are all set out in the feasibility report. And we also, with a process, will also engage directly in stakeholders. So we had the general co-design process as well as meeting directly with stakeholders. So I'm confident that these designs have been tested widely and refined through the process. And Veros developed preliminary costings to deliver the community network hub option. And those costings have been prepared using and bring the 3 elements that make up option 2 is just under $5.35 million. Now that assumes that costing assumes that all 3 elements will be progressed concurrently, but it doesn't include a full assessment of and it's important to acknowledge that detailed costings will need to be established, but there will be a place for that in a future phase of the project. While we haven't done any detailed assessments around what option 3 would cost, which is a single standalone facility, I think it's fair to say it's likely to be about $15 million. So in the order of about 3 times the cost. So I guess the attractive thing about option 2 is it builds on and leverages off facilities and the governance and operation of the partner organisations as they come. Look at funding, which is obviously a critical element in taking this project forward. There are extensive opportunities for external funding, and the proposed network hub option presents, in my view, and hopefully relationships with funders will be a critical element of the next phase of the project. Veros's feasibility report is comprehensive. It's a range of partner, stakeholder, and community representatives. A larger number of people have actually been directly communicated with as part of the process. So while we had great engagement, there is a wider group of people who we communicate with throughout the process. So not everyone was able to engage either at all or at all times through the process. But we're confident that the process has been extensive and reached out into our community. So the preferred community network hub option is strongly endorsed, and council can have confidence that the feasibility report provides a sound base on which to move to the next stage of the project. So you'll see, Your Worship, in my report, a series of recommendations. I'll just note that Veros have recommended in their report that the project be advanced in 2 stages, 2 key stages, sort of a design package and consenting, and then into construction, but with immediate focus on developing a funding plan referenced in their report as phase 0. I've suggested we tweak that a wee bit. Still have a phase 0 with a focus on funding, but encompass some of the matters signalled in Veros's phase 1, things like refining proposals, considering partner agreements, assessing funding requirements, capital and operating. These things I think are all critical for council to consider as we move through the project before any final commitments are made. Either to spend significant amount of money or once we get through the process to commit to construction. So I've suggested that to support this enhanced phase 0 work at a small budget of $50,000, which is within the town concepts plans broader budget be confirmed to progress the work. So Your Worship, I'll leave it there and open it up for questions. And we've got Adele and Chase standing by if there are any specific detailed questions. Feasibility report and the process that's been followed.
Awesome. Thanks for you guys for putting this certainly and also the I'll acknowledge Chase as well. Various reports that follow, and I feel I must go back and read it in detail because there's so much there to absorb in one sitting there for times. I'd also like to acknowledge as you've done the participation one the club, the support house in this conversation. You know, the biggest fear we have in small town New Zealand, I think, is the risk of having buildings turn into landfills through developing something else when we've still got very good quality facilities in our town. Through using those facilities, you actually sort of create that vibrancy that a small town needs to make it attractive. So, yeah, I think we'll come to a real this year. In terms of this competition going as far as that industrial investment doing stage 0 as Ross put it. So I open up to all the questions from councillors to develop those Ross.
Through you, Your Worship, I'd just like to acknowledge all the comments that have been made about process, and it was really exciting. Just to clarify, on page 48, 6.4 about civic hub, you've got $880,000 of expense, and then you've got exclusive of land cost GST. I assume you were simply stating obvious there because there is no land cost. Is that correct?
Yes. So the assumption, councillor, is that we're building on the investment that's already been made in both land building and governance and management and operation exists across the department group. Thank you.
Any further questions, councillors?
Yeah, the chances pretty good comments report, right? It's not a read. But option 2, I don't know, I guess the fact that it civic space action club or new civic spaces. I don't know. We have new civic spaces in option 3. I know you. Are you going to be doing a budget on this above 880,000?
By the event.
But lost slowly for being.
Well, I think it's a default that option A, which is the club forward, then the default is we need to look for. Yes, at this stage, we're not anticipating that we're in that space until we do further work and find and exhaust option A.
This is my point. We're going to go option B here, civic space, and that completely puts the other parts of the project on jeopardy because you're going to build a Aussie building. Just for that civic space, and all of a sudden you might as well add on to the other, so the other parts don't want. It's kind of all. You've got to use existing space, building a use space system. You're going on to option 3, so
is that in the recommendation?
The recommendation is this option 2, but in option 2, it's got an A or a B. I'm trying to think. It's sort of doing up there with a club, or if you don't do that, then you're going to use space. Well, you 5 mil, 6 mil, yeah.
Yes.
That's what I'm just,
Yeah, so thank you, councillor. I think for the benefit of clarity, working with Ōtorohanga Club around the events device, and that in the diagram in 4.5 is reflected as 2. So if you call that option 2A, then everyone's clear about preference.
Thank you. Any further questions, Councillor Jeffries?
Thank you, Worship. Yes. Thank you for the thoughts, most comprehensive. Because unless I missed it, was there anywhere in the report that says that we can actually do, say, start with the civic hub 6.4 and then do, say, the community services hub and then the library hub was contingent in doing all 3 at the same time?
So I think, and Dell and Chase may have a comment. I think from an efficiency point of view, the best value is moving ahead with all three elements, but they are not so, I guess, critically intertwined that we couldn't advance one or two of the three elements if circumstances meant that was appropriate to do. And I guess for me, that's what this enhanced phase 0 would identify for us. So a critical part of delivering the whole concept is funding and external funding. So if we've got confidence that we can secure all of the funding that we need to advance a complete package, then I'm sure that will be a recommendation to the council to consider. However, if we can't, the contra is also true. I think it would be unfortunate that we sat and waited for the funding required to advance with 3 if we have funding available to advance some of those.
Thank you. Yes, I seen actually an email there, but we had a chance to manage. Thank you for that. And just one last question. On page number 2 of the agenda, 39, the girls talking, talks about the costing. There's got a question right there, and I appreciate it's 30 days, but how detailed are those costs? For example, do they include all the furniture, filling, seating, tables, floor covers, any audio visual equipment? And has there any consideration been given to the use of solar energy?
Probably not to the last point, and these are high level costings. Adele or Chase, are you able to comment on that? I mean, we've deliberately kept the process at a high level, and there are a lot of assumptions made in estimating it moving forward to go through exactly what the proposal in detail might look like, and then what is the funding and operating arrangements look like. And at this stage, you know, the detailed questions I think are premature of people asking us, you know, does it include, you know, furniture or not? I think, you know, that will be picked up in the next stage.
Thank you, Ross. I agree. Can only be by at this point when you see what the costs are over the last couple of years of expenditures. It's as good an indication as we can get at this stage.
So what we're saying there is that 5.3 to 5.4 million that's proposed could be more.
What's out, but let's give Ross the opportunity to.
I think as much as Ross, I think we're focusing on what
5.3 and it could end up being 6.3. We don't know.
I understand the concern,
yeah.
But there are checkpoints that are being signalled that we'll have more detailed costings as part of this next phase and how we might fund them.
So I deal with a bunch of 50,000 is going to go some way to actually do this costing.
No, I see that. Thank you.
Any further questions, councillors? Yes, Councillor Williams.
So far to the report writers and contributors, but also the value not just in supporting this project, but the value to councillors and the incoming council points to and the picture that it gives of the community in the district.
B endorses the network community hub concept as reflected by option 2 in the feasibility report being point 1, a library arts
Side. 2, community services sub-based on development local will support our benefits. 3, civic hub-based development above all facilities. D, approves a budget of up to $50,000 funded for the concept presentation budget to progress the work by the CFO on a report of this work to be considered by council or any decisions made to proceed with. That second, Councillor Dow.
Favour. Is carried.
Thank you, Ross. Thank you, Case.
And Adele for the president.
Assume that way, President.
Yes. Oh, hi guys.
Thank you, Your Worship.
Okay, moving on. Thanks, Rob. Thanks, Rob.
Thank you.
Moving on to item 125, Waikato Biodiversity Accord. Tony.
We do have a cover report, but I probably said in my original council, what I propose, rather than going to take it as we have a presentation as well. If it's okay, perhaps we run through the presentation, some of the questions you might have on the presentation might cover off the report.
So,
Giving them to the report.
so
Thank you, all councillors. Would you then also talk about? I'm a specialist policy advisor and policy implementation team on the regional council.
I am consultant for available.
So, as we are all aware, we've got many people participating in a variety of biodiversity projects in the region. Photos there of some projects that are happening in your area. So we have landowners and marae groups and other community groups that are voluntarily investing time and effort and money, fencing stock from streams, planting up dunes underway currently to help restore biodiversity. We can achieve more of our efforts with agencies in particular need to align our biodiversity programs so that these can be more efficient and effective across the region, and so that our limited resources can be best use. So, alongside our current biodiversity and biosecurity work programs, we've been progressing the biodiversity accord, and this is an initiative that the Regional Council has captured in our strategic direction. It's also a CKBI. And it's to help address biodiversity loss in the region and to acknowledge that a collective approach is needed to lift our game. An overview. So with the National Policy Statement for Biodiversity, Indigenous Biodiversity taking effect last year, one of the directives is for regional councils to develop a regional biodiversity strategy. And these strategies are essentially a community and stakeholder-driven plan for restoring biodiversity at a landscape scale. So making those connections between existing areas of ocean wetlands and so forth. So the strategy itself will set out the detail of how to promote landscape scale biodiversity restoration, and the idea is to have a shared set of agreed actions and methods and milestones. So without preempting what will be in the strategy, it will likely include things such as identifying priority ecosystems and habitats where collective efforts would have the greatest value. So opportunities to engage urban communities as well as rural communities, and partnering on incentives for biodiversity restoration. So the Waikato Biodiversity Accord is like the first step in the strategy process. It's a high-level, non-statutory agreement that allows a visible and tangible commitment from organisations to work together to develop a strategy that meets their interests and works towards a healthy, functioning biodiversity. We see the accord as enduring beyond the strategy, so it will be the basis for regular communications and meetings and dialogue to check on progress with the strategy. So just looking at the process that we've gone through to get to this point. So we've had some targeted engagement with our EB partner co-governance. We've also held 2 workshops, which Angus has been facilitating, one in December and one in February, with staff from signatory organisations to gather and draft the content of the accord and to consider how to put it together. So that kaupapa was then assembled into a draft document in the form of a simple high-level agreement, purpose statement, a set of principles and objectives and statement. During that process, we looked at examples of some other accords. So you've probably heard of the Waipawa Peat Lakes and Wetlands Accord, which is over 20 years old now. It's an agreement to conduct an interagency approach to lakes and wetlands management in the Waipawa district. And it still endures as the parties still to discuss those issues and to deal with lakes and wetlands management. There are also at least 2 other regions in the country that have biodiversity accords, so Taranaki and also Hawke's Bay. And these accords were developed a few years ago and are essentially agreements to commit to their councils' biodiversity strategies. So looking at the accord itself, through our engagement so far, participants have considered and confirmed what they'd like to see in the accord and what should not be in the accord and what it should look like. I'll put up a word cloud there that sort of illustrates some of the key principles that emerged from the discussion at the workshops. And these have been incorporated into the draft of the document. So some of the principles included things like collaborative mahi that achieves better biodiversity outcomes than we individually. And I'd just like to illustrate that with a couple of examples here in the Ōtorohanga district. So a good example is the Te Taira o Kawhia Moana collaborative project with Kawhia residents that the Ōtorohanga district and the regional council and DOC are involved in. So helping the community navigate through issues such as managing plant and animal pests and people access on beaches and parts of plant techniques. Another example are the Aotea and Kawhia Coast Care, where some of the planting is on district reserves. And also the regional council has funded the Ōtorohanga Kiwi House in the past through its environmental nationalist fund. So just some examples of how organisations work together on biodiversity initiatives. Some of the other key principles incorporate something that came through quite strongly from the EV partners was to incorporate basic tenets of trust and respect, and transparency and honesty in working together, recognising tangata whenua as customer. So one So the accord itself doesn't involve resources, time or money at this stage. There's no binding implementation obligations or ongoing costs to any party by signing the accord. No, that's okay. But by becoming an accord partner or signatory does signal a commitment to work together to develop that strategy, the regional biodiversity strategy. So the regional council would like a commitment from territorial authorities and other partners to devote some staff time, likely a few days in total over the next couple of years to help develop that strategy. This may involve attendance at workshops or very providing ideas and options. But we are conscious, particularly local councils, so this will be tailored to the stakeholder and their capacity to engage. But we just really like to have that involvement from this district council and the other districts in the region. It's really important. We need to move forward with our biodiversity mandate. Just leave it there. Does Angus would like to say anything more? Or?
It's been comprehensive. Just any questions.
Cool. Thanks, Judy. Thanks, Angus. Yeah, just a couple of questions from me. One of them, like part 1, under A is really becoming a signatory. That's for right Waipawa or Ōtorohanga whenua initiative. Why does it depend on them? Because includes Waikato, surely it's Waikato. So I guess that's my first question. Why we're just narrowing it down to those councils. My second question, can you sort of explain what the landscape scale biodiversity is?
Being one of the smaller councils that is predominantly rural and has some biodiversity considered under the district, but not extending to some of the other districts. We thought that we would be in a position to follow up. And so the concept behind that was that we would be a signatory if others were, because we need them on board. They're sort of the big partners in the way. We thought if they come on board, then it makes it easier for us to go on. That was an option, I guess, under 1A, that recommendation. You might decide that we don't want to be independent, so we don't need to rely on other agencies sign up, or might be subject to everyone's.
And it makes sense that it's also those councils, it's just like one, so specific, just that cluster. Yes, sir. And landscape scale line.
It's in this region, I think it's quite pertinent because we do have a lot of fragmented ecosystems, so we've got very small, thousands of bush fragments, for instance, and also small wetland areas that are disconnected from each other that they don't have that sort of corridor where wildlife and birds can move freely through. So the idea of having landscape restoration is sort of a moana to moana concept, so the mountains to the sea, so using the rivers and streams, the catchments, the fragmented areas of bush and wetlands, connecting them up so that they are a more continuous native vegetation, biodiversity area, so that are wildlife corridor, to use a more traditional term.
Stitch the network together, the green network.
That's pretty vast.
So through information, and following on from what you just said, what implications,
particularly when it comes to developing a strategy that is cooperating together to build some incentives for biodiversity restoration on private property, to plant up the river banks, do more fencing of the bush fragments and that kind of thing. So we don't see this as something that would deter from that, rather it would help because it means that we can all work together to develop that incentives.
so you're not using the word compulsory.
Sorry?
So there'll be no compulsory element.
No, this is very much a voluntary.
It's
Link really closely to all the plans and policies, not very apparent in our region at the moment. It's that district plans are quite inconsistent with the way we deal with biodiversity. So we're hoping that by working more closely together with the strategy, provide more consistency. National statement is going to be reviewed. However, we don't see that particular part of the national statement as being contentious. Something the significant natural areas part is, as you probably know, but for regional councils to develop a regional biodiversity strategy, it's not something that's under fire, if you like, changes, etc.
In terms of the call itself. Anyway, it's fine. We can say they can sort of RMA sort of seeps into many different areas and sort of
And the time, it's just the time is quite good. Our district review is due because next year. So what's likely to happen is the regional strategy will be developed as we start our review. And so we'll be able to have the strategy.
I have a question to you. The Waikato Biodiversity Corp, obviously that takes financial commitment on behalf of investment. There's still very plantings along river edges, but when it came to investment further in gullies or catchments within our property, the regional council didn't support that in recent times because it was seen as a priority catchment area. So there's still going to be the case with the support, or is it going to be more opportunity?
Yes.
Yeah, very much so.
We're looking really wide on strategy pieces. Yes, and because without as the base to say, okay, we're happy to work together to develop this more detailed strategy, which will look at those exact issues.
Councillor Johnson, do you have
Yes. I have a question. Councillor Prendergast.
where does the likes of the green priorities do this? Are they, do they come in via us, or are they an equal party to members of the Accord?
So it's probably more that they come in via the territorial authorities at this stage, but the Accord is a flexible document, so they can join it. Other organisations will be able to join time in the future as well. And that's how it's worked in other regions. So they have a core group of organisations sign to start with, and then as the strategy is built, it becomes more clearer what's about, then other parties can join it. So with my part, district council, this is where it's time, so it's something.
So Waikato is around the Waikato River.
Yeah.
And it's just, yeah, it's come to my attention. It's an application for funding. I look at district council support, but what mechanism? Well, it's something before we call them, you know.
Yeah, so that's a good question. I'm not sure I can answer that at this stage, but I can see, find out the others and how the position involved with that.
And just to comment on the, in case people are under the perception that it's a linked corridor of bush, we allow birds to fly. And certainly at home, yeah, we've been building up with the assistance of it for because we're in a catchment. But yeah, it's a hop, step, and a jump from us onto two more. Yeah, so it's really good to be.
So all the councils are looking for field trips. I think it's kind of a good thing that we're trying to do something to get the guys to do it. But then if someone wants, for instance, federated farmers want to jump on board, want to, what needs they know what it is, you know, you can join later on. Is that kind of how you see it? Like we can, yeah. Why I say I'm a big ass is that here yesterday in both forests on men. He wants to shift all the roads off the coast to disable the seabirds. But he was saying put the roads through the ridges, through the bush. And I'm thinking, what about the forest of big guys about the bush bridge? That's why I think it's a massive undertaking. Yeah, kind of thing. People are well getting more here. There are very bushes here. It's getting on the bit. So yeah, I think it's a good thing. But yeah, just
It's not.
Thank you. Just a very good question around funding that's picking up council meetings. So are we looking at just a policy here that each partner will fund what happens within their just individually, or any funding that's available will be prioritised in any way? So I'm just thinking to kind of look after in order for them to progress their objectives, are they able to approach this group and get funding and resources to do that, or is that purely on the basis of their district as the fund? So it's just how does the funding work? Yeah.
So we see the Accord as facilitating those conversations around what each party can contribute to the project. So it doesn't necessarily mean that what lies within this district is to be funded by this district.
trying to be more integrated.
Okay. No further questions? That note, we have a resolution in front of us. The Ōtorohanga District Council A agreed to become the signatory to the Waikato University subject to Waka District Council, District Council, short boundaries and better resources fund action affected by sea conservation and wild resource. The objective, efficient and effective strategy for sustainability recognizes very capacity stakeholders to participate and authorize the chief executive to assess and accept inconsequential events. Just a little bit. To record that may be put forward from other stakeholders and see require the chief executive to review council signatory status following the direction. Councillor Hughes, Councillor Jeffries, favour. Yes, carried. Thank you, Judy. Thank you, Angus. Thank you, Tony. Don't you go anywhere, Tony? Tony's here for item 125, 126, I should say. Any report of dog control policy and practices.
I'll get you up. Your report. Oh, sorry,
Yeah, kia ora koutou. His worship, councillors, staff, visitors. And title this report is read. I guess a bit of context around it. So the information provided in the report, it is relevant to what was available when the previous contractor was active. We now have a shared service in place. It's got a good knowledge around the requirements going forward. I hope to expand the report and give you some needs to take. Do we have any questions?
Thanks, Joe. One question which is probably fairly self-explanatory was when we're talking about owners of dogs that have got controls against them for dog ownership and so on, restrictions. So those, the names of those people, they remain within the council's files, but they're not public.
So they do in the system, but they're not.
Yes, Councillor Johnson.
Just noting, 2.2 that this report is period versus 522.
Yes, that's a good question. So we're in a, I guess, a transition period between a previous service provider, which was a sole animal control officer, and moving to a shared service. And so through that transition, I guess we've lost the focus of reporting and setting up new shared service. So it is a little bit late coming to you, apologies for that. But it's a statutory bill, so certainly future ones will be more.
Any further questions?
Yeah,
Yes, Councillor Dow.
oh, you can ask it.
Oh, I raised a question, but I've actually emailed to you guys. I'm quite happy to just to take that back rather than raise it.
When we have to see email come through, so we just
Oh, okay, yeah, that's fine.
Just curious.
Yeah. So do I have to repeat it? It was really just for me. That's quite good here. So you had 124 dollars impounded, and of which 64 registered and 60 were unregistered. But you only released 7 to 8 so there was 46 dogs that I wasn't quite sure what happened to those. So that was one question, and then the other was what happened to the impounded stock? Notifications. So, yeah.
Well, I'll get Joe response. I guess the context of this again is some of that data we don't have because it was a previous ACO. So within the time available, we've been able to get that exact information. But so we can provide an answer.
I think also we've got a system that we now know together board that will be able to input the information to spin. Okay. But in regards to the statements, the majority of the nuisance dogs would have been rehomed, and a number of those. Sorry. The impounded stock, so the process for impounded stock is more than likely they would return home, but in the likelihood that this isn't the case, then they would have been auctioned off to the owners. You had one final question regarding the financial info. I think basically it's just the legal requirement of the section 10A law control 1996, which doesn't define
In fact, I just one other quick question. In terms of roving dogs, I'm not worried about roving dogs so much. Growing stock and horses, particularly in my area, and I just wanted to raise that. It's been raised previously. It's an ongoing issue.
We're aware that animal control officer has met with the principal, I guess, release law of the horses. And so we're working with them around mechanisms that we can support them within, you know, our role as a council as well, because some of this is on these defense. But we're facilitating that around how we can stop some of those. It's a work on, I think it's fair to say. We don't have a clear solution yet, but we're
Yes, Councillor Palmer.
I just have one question. Is there any strategy around, because I can see impounded dog registered 64 and then unregistered 60. Is there some strategy around that? So we get better numbers of registered dogs rather than.
Opening up, I was just talking to the animal control officer about that a couple of weeks ago, and he said from his experience, the best thing to do is to start the new financial year off, continue sort of the unregistered, because then we can go down the track and follow the process, whether it's infringement or legislation. So he said come July, that will be his first job, isn't it next year?
this year we're looking at more points around registration as well. We haven't pushed that hard last year, but that's part of it. But honestly,
Seven, Ōtorohanga District Economic Wellbeing Strategy Adoption of Draft.
One other question, councillors. Through the current long-term plan, council confirmed the development of an economic development strategy. However, our conversations and engagement with the community through the various concept plans identified the need for us to broaden the scope of that from economic development to economic wellbeing. The nuanced difference, economic wellbeing considers the wellbeing of people, culture, environment and ecology as a key part of a thriving economy, which is a shift in thinking from economic development, which is primarily focused on growth. To undertake the development of the strategy, we considered the help of Veros as our consultants to use the community engagement on both the Community Facilities Hub and the strategy to canvass the community's understanding of and desired outcomes related to economic wellbeing. They also utilised community input from the concept. I won't speak any more to the report itself, but would like to add some new information. So firstly, following Council's workshop on the 9th of April, where the draft strategy was presented to you, I circulated it to both the Ōtorohanga District Development Board and Hamilton Waikato Tourism to check it with them before this meeting. The outcome of that has resulted in a couple of changes which are in the document in the agenda. So to note those, on page 204 of the agenda, we have aligned the tourism data to tourism. And then on page 232, we captured the recently updated strategic direction from the Ōtorohanga District Development Board. And lastly, I did have a lovely conversation with John Haddad, who has kindly given us permission to use that iconic photo of him and Karen, which is on page 2. And we'll just put a note at the bottom of that, noting that he has given us that permission. So this report is seeking your approval to undertake community to the allocation of economic development budgets, particularly in year 1 of the long-term plan. This will provide enough time for you to give us that direction and for us to include it in our planning. If it looks like there's a lot of submissions, and in particular that means a lot of reading for elected members, then we'll look at holding it. So with that, I'll take the remainder of the report as read, and I'm happy to answer any questions.
Yes, thank you, Daria. Questions, councillors?
Just to touch on budget. So, because this is going to be on June, and existing budgets, so
Development Board, onto my council.
so they don't sound like renewal before.
So they're all on a 3-yearly cycle, currently, generally, to align with our long-term plan. We can't, I guess, commit any more than that as we take a look at these through the long-term plan. So yes, all 3 of those will be waiting confirmation of ongoing funding.
Through this, through this.
Through the long-term plan process, through your decision.
Councillor Jeffries.
I just want quick question, Richard, thank you. It's more of a comment. I appreciate why we've got consultants, timeframes involved, but I'm just a bit concerned that there was already a little bit of confusion amongst some people as to what the differences between concept plans, urban plans, and really getting with another. So I'm just concerned that we seem to be really rigorous consulting mood at the moment. And I think whether we're getting people a little bit confused with all the difference. If it's got to be done, it's got to be done. I just want to know quite clearly it's not long-term plan, it's not concept.
Through you, Worship, yes, I agree with you. We are in a heavy engagement phase. In fact, we've been in a heavy engagement phase for quite some time. And I appreciate the fatigue that creates for our community and staff and councillors alike. And that's part of the reason why we wanted to wait until after the long-term plan for this one. We felt if we did all 3 of them at the same time, it would be
We should just be acknowledging to Councillor Jeffries at the start of me to have gone quite separate, but yeah, on those. So 3 consulting players looking, areas in our rooms that have been put into the processes, the QR code and the cards that people have been picking up, handed out, what area that we're looking at, and we've also been asking which things you've been interested in and explain.
Certain hours start.
Another question. When you read through the Māori thing, and then they've got the translation, but not always. So in some of the little reading could be another page. It's got another page used, but no, not within the document. I know I'm reading it, I realise it is another thing, but just
Nadia is again acknowledge your input into this consultant scheme. There's some really good documents like this. Easy reading, really engaging, so feedback and consultation. There's no further questions, councillors. We have a resolution that the District Council approved the proposed district strategy, community engagement consultation. We do it very Saturday, Monday, 6 May. The feedback submissions considered. So, Councillor Johnson, Secretary Hughes, all in favour?
Aye.
Yes.
Moving on to item 128, waste management and mineralisation plan 2024 summary submission adoption. Jared. That is page 2.
Through your worship, thank you everyone. It's Friday, it's for hosting us today. Sitting here looking behind you, it's a beautiful outlook.
Oh, I thought you were looking at them.
Sorry, the sparkles for the view behind here. I'll take my report as read, but I'll just quickly give you a brief overview on the journey we've been going through with this and where we're at currently. So, last year we started on a waste assessment, which is the first stage, and in December we brought that waste assessment to the council, which was adopted, where we made the decision to review our waste management and minimisation plan, WMP. We got a draft which we brought to you in February, which we all agreed that was ready. We went out for consultation. You'll see in the report we got 10 submissions. All the submissions supported the document and the direction we're heading, which was really positive. Most of the comments were around our curbside collections and how we deliver that service, which, as you'll all know, we're working on that at the moment from our previous workshop. So a lot of those questions will get answered in the work we're doing at the moment. So, without any further questions, I'll do that.
Awesome, thanks, Jared. Yeah, it really was good seeing the submissions and support of plan, which means you must have got a lot of points. So, good work, to you and it was. Questions, councillors? Is there any councillors here? So, if there's no questions from you, we do have the recommendation that the Ōtorohanga District Council adopt the waste management and mineralisation plan 2024. It's from New Zealand. Document number 7.61. First Councillor Prendergast, second Councillor Dow. Favour? Aye. Yes, Karen. Easy.
Thank you, Your Worship and councillors.
Okay, we move on to second item 120. Solutions fast track approval bill. Fast track approval.
So, as you're aware, this submission has been, you provided feedback prior to the lodgement, so this is just, at least for the record, confirming the lodgement. Submission was amended following the feedback that we received. I guess since lodgement, you've probably seen a bit of media commentary around the bill. I've noticed it's now on a National Senate article in the Guardian around it, so it's a bit of interesting, I guess. And a lot of the discussion and these comments that I've seen have been consistent with what's in our submission. So the intent of the bill and the principles behind it are still, everyone thinks it's a good idea and no one's down from that. It's just the way it's being executed. So this just reflects all the feedback. Take it as read, Your Worship, and have any questions.
Yes, sir. Any questions, councillors?
True. It's just, I was thinking,
So now,
I didn't spoil the workshop. And the fact that bring that minerals and gold that she does. That was such a nice. Well, thank you for the rest of it. Thank you.
okay, we have a recommendation here that the Ōtorohanga District Council retrospectively confirm the submission, including this amendments to lodge in respect to the fast track approvals bill, and the time of the submissions did not allow the council to consider the submissions. Moved by Councillor Williams, second Councillor Johnson. Favour? Against? Very fine.
Thanks for the hand up.
Yes.
yeah, I'm taking the call.
Thanks, Tony.
Item 130, adoption of the Mineral Disaster Relief Fund Policy. Andrew. 316.
Everyone else's, thanks for the opportunity to hold a meeting here, so it's a lovely setting. Regarding my report, I'd like to take the report as read. I'll just make a brief comment. I made a small inclusion to the Audit and Risk Committee. Chair Peter raised the matter of the agendas. Criteria for funding by public entities. I've included that in the policy as Index 2, which is on page 325 agenda. Take any questions?
Thanks, Andrew. Any questions, councillors? Mr. Jeffries?
Yes, I just wanted to acknowledge everything for this. I think it's a policy that's overdue in my view, but it has been through the Tampa community where we supported it wholeheartedly. So I'm really supportive of the issue. Thank you.
So, any questions? Nothing further. We have resolution that Ōtorohanga District Council adopt the Mineral Disaster Relief Fund Policy adopted 727. Vote. Mr. Jeffries, all in favour?
Aye.
Yes. Yeah.
Thanks, Andrew.
Thank you.
Moving on to item 131. Community Facilities Activity Update for the month ending 31st March 2024. Jared, welcome back.
Your Worship, I'll take my report as read, just a little updates in there, mainly around the contracts that are coming up due. So we've currently got our pools contract out for tender at the moment. We haven't made any significant changes to any levels of service there. So that's out. We will be bringing to the boards the areas we mow and the specifications for those areas to have a look over and any input there. So I'm working on that for the next 2 board meetings, which are in a couple of weeks. So some of you will see for those meetings where we'll get that information out as early as we can, so you can have a look over and anything you think needs changing, we can discuss those in workshops. And other than that, any questions?
No, well, thanks, Jared. Really good update on what's going on around the district community. So we're here, so he's up on so thank you. No questions, Councillor.
Just one's about I see it's going to have a disabled fund. I remember reading in the community that need disabled. So that be
In town, we generally only have one in each town. It's named 24 hours.
No, that's why I was just curious because I think I agreed that they wanted to try and upgrade to 24 hours. So
Yeah, the background at the moment on that, but that will only be for the line and crescent ones.
okay.
Thank you. Councillor Williams, the
Good to see that all your projects are coming ahead in budget, or do you just stop spending? And on the other thing is the asset management thing. When it's finished, will it become is it an accessible document that members of the boards can use as well, so that you know, questions that come up about footpaths or how reserves are managed or what have you, that they'll see what the plan is going.
A lot to start with, so we just needed that base document first. It's heavy at the moment, so we're just working on that to refine it, then it will become other accessible.
And people can be put off by them being whether they're
The county cemetery. Races before. We just wondered whether you could tell us how the screen plantings around the area.
So from the last meeting, when I've been had a look up there. I was out there 3 or so weeks ago, and yeah, just working through some ideas that it's very hard to grow anything on a
upcoming trees concerned with the quotes from Carl to decorate that whole sort of process.
Yeah, but Ōtorohanga District Council received a report titled Community Facilities Activity Update Monday, 31st March 2024, talking about $7 Jared. Councillor Darcy, Councillor Donkey, favour? Yes. Thanks, Jared. Thank you. Now we have Graham being joined by Brendan on Zoom, apparently. There he is.
Good morning.
Yes, we've got the financial report, item 132.
Cool, thanks, your worship. I was just having a bit of a heart attack here that Brendan wasn't going to come in on soon, but we're all good. So yeah, so just like to present the year-to-date financials to the end of March 2024. So we'll start off with the statement of comprehensive revenue. Brendan's made some notes there, which we'll just quickly cover, and there's some questions from Councillor Jeffries that we'll cover off as well as we work through. So overall, net surplus of 2.2 million compared to the budget surplus due to the timing of the second rates installment here. Operating revenue up on budget by 951k due to 1.3 mil up on budgeted subsidies, offset by 229k under budget and other income. I guess the increase in subsidies is this statement of comprehensive revenue expenses includes subsidies from capital expenditure as well. So it's just a timing thing. Operating expenses down on budget by 1.2 million, with others being down on budget by 216, and employee benefit expenses 971. So there again, we're carrying still a number of vacancies. So there's likely, I guess we can fill those vacancies by the end of the year. There's likely to be a surplus year. Just in relation to Councillor Jeffries' questions regarding the budget 1.5 million, that's increased to 2.9 carryovers. So the operating carryovers are largely due to the rural we carried over the previous year of approximately 1.2 million. It would add to that. The budgeted deficit, and correct me if I'm wrong, Brendan, is in the third year of the LTP. We elected not to only funds to participating in all our three waters assets to another entity. So is that correct, Brendan?
Yeah, so we had a big increase in our depreciation expense, obviously, because we had a revaluation in 22-23. And so that, particularly in the water and roading, that had a big impact on increasing the expense, but we didn't increase the income to fund that additional bit over and above what was already budgeted in the long-term plan.
So that answers that question. Just moving over the page to the balance sheet. Just apologies, we just cut off the movement in equity at the bottom of that page that shows that the concern Councillor Jeffries, but I can assure you that it does. The balance sheet shows a healthy position with total current assets of 8.2 mil against current liabilities of 1.8, giving working capital of 6.3, likely to be and that's just not a slide. Yeah, so I'll take that. Any questions as well?
Thanks, Graham. Thanks, Brendan. Yeah, so we I won't say we probably dismiss the figures because of the timing and that of when rates cut, when the expenses as the carryovers. I think it's only the case because things are always quite positive. If it was the other way around, I think we'd all be sitting there asking a lot of serious questions about things. So as much as timing is a big key part of this, it's really nice to see that it's results. Thanks, Brendan.
Yep.
Questions, councillors?
We have a recommendation, the financial report be received. In the 31st March 2024, moved Councillor Jeffrey, second Councillor Williams. Yes. Thank you. Thanks, Brennan.
Thank you.
We'll see Councillor Johnson's waiting this is voice box.
The LPP, I think the LPP.
Thank you, Worship. I attended on 27th breakfast and the meeting following that, particularly to help organise the mentors evening that the Northern Country Development Trust is partnering with to deliver. On the 2nd, I went to Ōtorohanga 60-year commemorations. Just a comment about on the 4th, the politics including evening in Cambridge, which I thought was really good, very helpful. Just listening to bits and pieces from other district councils, and I guess to share that we're all on the same page here. On 10th of the 4th, I had the Big Country Development Trust meeting again for mentors evening organisation. 17th of the 4th, follow-up meeting. 18th was the long-term plan Marawina community consultation. And 20th, the long-term plan open plan at
Thank you, Lizzie.
Ōtorohanga 106 years. Yes, like you said, Rick's very inspirational, and I don't think we might be still around for the next 10 years and the 170 year celebration, which I'm sure lots of those rangatahi will then be pakiki. Great to be a part of. And been meeting with them to the top of the way pass. I started with the actual hiding out of to get a, I suppose, a holistic view on the JMA. It's been really interesting. Grants and awards, it's always lovely to give some money away. And great application. I just want to meet to Nikki. Amazing, Nikki, again, like in our please, but it is they are great. It's a great testament to your mind. So very, very cool. The creative communities, we had some new people come and sit on our creative communities. And so that's all nice rangatahi. So that's really cool. Sustainability and longevity in there. And then our rural travel was I thought this year was good. We got lots of different people with some of the criteria being changed with the help of Robbie and more people, other people to apply. So that was really cool. And other than that, I've just got a real whānau voice, so no voice. I've been a kapaka all weekend, and Saturday or Friday, Saturday will be the last kapaka for about 2 months before we qualify and go to nationals. So.
Williams.
Much the same as the others. Doing breakfast to hear your message along with the staff. Ōtorohanga, pretty awesome being part of that with my tūpuna also being at Ōtorohanga, with the beat of the drum and the experience. LGBT, women in politics, yeah, it's good with councillor. Just being able to support issues that sometimes in the sector and rural, sector and then rural and provincial conflicts related to this.
Look at the towns, they actually driving through them, you know. Like we should be celebrating excellence in that town, and towns are not that many shops. It's just, I don't know how lucky we are, but it's good. It's people put them in, which make the fact that it's on the planet. And I've been to the awards committee, I was on there in Carroll Park, that was very interesting, great to see the text. Also, and yesterday I was in a youth committee for the regional transport field. So that's quite interesting because the Harris Street people turn out quite passionate. I'm quite turn out in a world, you know, this is what's screwing up. But you know, it's kind of just that, but that passion that people bring to those hearings, it's quite good to listen to. Yeah, I was like that, but it's look around, it's like, you know, it's take a bit of bullshit. But you know, like, I mean, you have to organise it and listen and take their piece of passion, but you know, make it good, like that. But that's pretty much it.
Thank you. That's the news.
Nothing actually. Sorry. You're just gonna, I'm just gonna put it back in. No, I've had other commitments, unfortunately, through work, but I will say that last month, Councillor Dell was slated to do the words of wisdom at the start of the meeting, which I covered for him, and I had a rather profound words of wisdom from Friedrich Nietzsche, who you know well by his works. That was, and I was initially slated to do this month, which wasn't done at the start of the meeting, but I did prepare one, so if I could just read that out.
Yes, absolutely, please do. I was just looking through the agenda and realised.
And this is a little more like, a bit lighter than last month's one. So it comes from Douglas Adams. So Douglas Adams wrote the some of you might know the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, 1979, and he had what he called a trilogy of books that came out, but there's actually 5 of them. So, and he wrote something as this is a common mistake that people make when trying to design something completely foolproof is to underestimate the ingenuity.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Been quite a month into really good perhaps meeting, and as you probably appreciate, one of the items on their agenda is come to see walls here. There was some discussion around that. Expect submission that area. That topic. 4th of April, we had an extraordinary overseas meeting, and then we had a country community board meeting that afternoon. On the 8th of April, 23 of us did that. So it was quite quickly. But 9th of April, we had the citizen ceremony. And then the 8th of April, there was a really interesting LGN Zoom meeting on online harassment, which I think, and I came in a little late on that, so I didn't see it again, but there was some really interesting stuff coming out of that, and it's surprising some of the horror stories that are coming out. How some councils in some areas are almost feared with their lives, you know, like it's terrible sort of stuff comes through from that. So I think that's going to be an ongoing thing. Is that right? There's going to be another one. So if you get a chance to connect to that, it's one of those Zoom meetings that is really worth and makes you appreciate it. Having said that, our frontline staff have from time to time having the experience.
One good, well, big good thing when you're hearing about all that. It was comforting to know that part of our new build did provide a much higher level of security for our staff.
Yeah, that's a good point. And one which came through was, I think, I'm not too sure which council it was actually building new or modifying their building. And it's a sad piece of society that they were actually building around security. It's not getting to the stage where, like with winds where you've got to walk past the security gate to get to the front door, whatever. But yeah, it's not a problem. So yeah, I'm encouraging
Thank you, councillors. I'll hand back over to Nick for the last 15 item, which is the resolution. Thank you, Commissioner. So there is top recommendations on the resolution C173, the framework for the Ōtorohanga climate change. Remove that from the resolution register. C174 concept plans and it's also that C5 so slightly all except I should have started at the top. C177 is also really needs to be 86. So read that recommendation. Council confirm the removal of resolutions C173, 174, 175, 176, 177, and 186. Move this, Councillor Prendergast, all in favour? Against? Before we have our closing here, I just want to acknowledge maybe three results as well on the day. We can be extraordinary. So we can sit here, not even feeling like we're out of place, which is quite amazing, really. So a huge amount of evidence gone. Without that, we're doing some work. So yeah, but they're not those that aren't. That message could be passed on to the please. Now I can go to yeah.
So I just want to also parking residents to be I've been ready to we Anya and a great ambassador around making we us. So we're a little communicate. Also, just a few little things I forgot to think in my update. There's a kawhia Haura outreach program starting on Monday at the kawhia. So and to secure a contract to help Dr. John and kawhia do immunisation screening, all of those things. Also the 29th of April, a group from kawhia, from the from Wahakarimata cohort are going up to Ngāti Paua to have a look at Cody going back in terms of our Cody trees at the Cody Lodge. So they're up at a conference up there for a whole week. So that'll be cool. And hopefully we'll have a cameraman and we can record some of that stuff and I can bring it back and show you what's happening. So just three little things that I've massive amount of work in the background, but
all coming to fruition, which is cool. So I'm saying that, Ngāti te aungai o kako te mai, Ngāti Rama e Ngāti Pēr, a kai kōrero a Moi, I te whakaruri ngā kaupapa o te rāna, so ngā mini, a kai kēnui tātou, so ki a tātou kato, ki a tātou whai o tō tātou ati ki a kareiti, te aroha o tātou, ki te whiwhuna eitanga, the way o tātou, ake, ake,
Thank you, Councillor. So, declare the meeting closed. Don't go anywhere at the moment, Councillors. Well, time to just. So it's just so